Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Harper got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. Listen, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. Hold on. Why do I look so... There you go. If you watch us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, man. Listen, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago. Sorry. Steve-O, make sure you put in that Devin Hester return from the Super Bowl. Yesterday was the anniversary of it. That's what... Just from the beginning of the clip. But anyway, sorry, where was I? Oh, if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. All right, listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the bell. That's the notification button next to it. That'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, come on, man. Don't tell me you didn't know we had our mobile app. What? You didn't know? Listen, we have a mobile app. So listen, wherever you get your apps from, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you get your apps from, whether iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworth, wherever you get them from. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. And if you're watching this on a Roku channel, yay, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor, do us a solid, yeah? So listen, go there and download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your television. Right there on the big screen. All right, put it next to Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Max, Disney Plus, Stars. Oh, shoot, today's Chicago Wednesday on NBC. I like it. Anyway, I digress. All right, Paramount Plus, put it right next to there, and you can watch us on the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen right, Mickey, Ficky, now. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, the CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me. Personally online, you want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle. You see it at the bottom of the screen at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram, because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, well, just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. We have a phenomenal show, and we're getting started at the bottom of the hour. So, man, we got to get going. We got to get going. Oh, yeah. At 9:30, we're talking with Brad Squires, a man from the On Tap Sports Net. He's coming on. He's talking Bulls, baby. Only the Bulls. Man, if you watched them last night, that was one hell of a game. Woo, Charlie, that was a game. Kobe White was white hot. I like it. 7 for 13 from me on the arc. We'll talk about that. Don't worry about it. Kobe White and the Bulls. My man, Brad Squires, he's coming on at 9:30. At 9:30. At 10 o'clock. That's my Chicago accent. 9:30. At 10 o'clock, my man, Emilio Bucks. Emilio is going to come on and talk a little White Sox baseball. Why? I have no freaking idea. But we're going to talk White Sox baseball, so it'll be a very short conversation, so don't worry about that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. It's going to be a very small, short conversation at that. And then at 10:20, because that's how short the White Sox conversation is going to be, our man Lester Wilfong Jr., editor-in-chief over at Windy City Gridiron, is going to come on and talk. We're going to close out the show talking Bears. We have tons to talk. Woo-wee. Man, I'm telling you. It's going to be. So you know what we got to do, man? We got to get started like right now. So guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show. Actually, you know what? Let me say what's no, bump that. Let me say what's up about people in the chat. Because this chat is jumping already, baby. People are moving. Levette Lee's in the house. Good morning, Mama. How you doing? Happy hump day. Cornelia Squalls in the Mickey Ficky house. What up, Papa? That's what I'm talking about. Black Diamond in the Mickey Ficky house. What's up, Papa? Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Brian Hendren in the house. That's what I'm talking about. And my man, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. Jr.'s in the house. Yay. Man, we jumping. James Ford. He's in the house. Good morning, James. How you doing, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Oh, snap. Patty Lara's in the Mickey Ficky house. Yeah. If they're in the house, that means, Jeremiah's in the house. Man, good morning, Jeremiah. Good morning, Dito. I know Dito's at school, but good morning, Jeremiah and Dito. Thank you. I appreciate it, Junior. New studio. We got that the migrant crisis money, and so we're able to upgrade studios. So the migrants aren't getting it. We got it. Don't worry. I'm pulling a Brett Favre. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's neither here nor there. Brandon Schutz in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning, Papa. How are you? Michelle Walls in the house. Happy hump day. You know it, baby. You know it. I'm fired up. I am fired up. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. I do know that more of my sports donors will be checking in as the show goes on. And you know what? I just wanted to say what's up. I wanted everybody to know that, you know what? Hashtag coaching matters. Coaching matters. So all my people who are talking shit about Justin and, who don't really know nothing. And you got to understand, coaching matters, people. Coaching matters. Ryan, you're a fool. Nice to see the money going to a great cause. Oh man, but let's get it started, because we got 20 minutes before my man Brad comes on. We have a lot to talk about, because you know how we do, folks. You know how we do over here. First segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Ooh, the first top of the morning topic. Which way do we go? You know which way we going, man. Stop acting like you don't even know, like you're new. Woo, Charlie, the Bullies, baby. Only the Bulls. Big win yesterday for our Bullies. Big 129-123 overtime victory over the Minnesota Timberwolves. One of the best teams in the West. One of the top teams in the West. All right, let me tell you something. I'm channeling my Fire Marshal Bill. Don't worry about it. That's how fired up I am. I'm on the last day of my 3-day water fast, so I'm a little delirious. Pardon me. Yes, only water is what I've consumed since Monday at midnight. Well, the Bulls beat the T-Wolves 129-123 in overtime. Kobe White hot was just that. 33 points, 5 boards, 7 dimes. He was 7 for 13 from downtown. Interchannel he interchanneled his Michael Jordan, his North Carolina compadre, Michael Jordan, with 21 points in the fourth quarter. He pulled up from Winnetka a couple of times. What the hell was that? I'm like, Kobe, what the hell? Yes! You know how you're doing. Like, what are you doing? Yes! Man, he was on fire. DeMar DeRozan contributed 13 points as well. Vooch! 20. What do you have? 21 points, 6 rebounds. I forgot to put the 6 in there. My bad. And then Andre Drummond, Mr. Walking double, 16 points, 16 grown ass man rebounds for Andre Drummond yesterday. He was, whoo, man. And they started both of those guys. I like it. I like those two guys in the starting lineup. That works. That for me, that works. Whew. Check this out. The next top of the morning topic, the Blackhawks. What? Yes, baby. Yes, the Blackhawks will host the St. Louis Blues. The Blues, baby, in a 2025 Winter Classic at Wrigley Field. It seems like every other year the Blackhawks are in the Winter Classic. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. You know, you got to remember the Connor Bedard will be back. You know, so he's definitely something that, or someone that you're going to want to see, that the National Hockey League wants to, you know, spotlight on the national stage. Something else that they want to do. You know, they're going to do that. Let's see, what's the next top of the morning topic? My man, Devin Hester, according to multiple reports. You saw it in the video. You see it here in a still picture. According to multiple reports, Devin Hester will be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame on Thursday. It's his third time on the ballot. It's a travesty that he didn't get it on the first time. But you know what? The fact of the matter is he is most likely going to get in on Thursday. It's where he belongs. He should have been there 2 years ago, but that's neither here nor there. He's most likely getting in on Thursday, and he deserves it. When you are the best at what it is that you do in the NFL, you are a first ballot Hall of Famer. Why they did him wrong, I have no idea. But all that should come to an end on Thursday. And this was the most iconic return he had in his career. The first person to return the opening kickoff of a Super Bowl. You heard it. You see it on the intro every morning. You know, it was, and I'm telling you, you remember exactly where the frick you were at when you saw that, because you were going nutso. You were going freaking bonkers, because I was at a basement party in Pilsen, and I think I told you they put the words to Bear Down, Chicago Bears, around the wall so you could sing it. And it's funny because we don't know the words, no one knows the words except bear down, bear down, because we didn't know that. So it was funny. So they put it along the wall, and so we're all turning as we're singing, we're reading it as we're going, we're turning around, and that was the purpose. The guy who held the party, he goes, I just wanted everyone to turn around and see how crazy it got after alcohol was involved, and second half and third and fourth quarter, when the Bears scored and they sang that, how sloppy or if anyone would fall. I thought that was funny, but I digress. But yes, Devin Hester should be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Thank goodness. It's a place he deserves to be. The next top of the morning topic, I'm going to bring my man in. My man's in them. He's the co-host, excuse me, of one of the best podcasts here on Sports Zone Chicago. I say it's probably the best. What's up, cuz? He hosts with his cousin, Lance C. Irvin. Here to talk about this next top of the morning topic, my man Jason Palmer. Jason, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Oh, Lord, it's a rough time in Chicago sports. Woof, man, oh man, I'm glad you brought up Devin Hester, because that put a smile on my face, because I remember where I was. I was in Miami at a bar on South Beach, in which Chicago Bears fans, for all
took over.
We kicked out everyone wearing blue and white pulling from Indianapolis. Literally, like, y'all get the hell out of here. This is our bar. It's one of the wildest experiences I've ever had. out of the bar, just commandeered an entire bar on South Beach, kicked them the hell out. And when he returned that opening kick for a touchdown, I have never experienced that type of euphoria and noise in my life. The place was literally shaking. I'll never forget that feeling, man. Oh man, that's beautiful.
Dude, it was. And we were in an enclosed area. It was a little crowded. It was kind of crowded, and so it was loud in there. So I can imagine. I can't even imagine how it would be at a bar where the whole place is shaking.
Just hundreds of Bears fans in a bar. People standing up. There's not enough seats for everybody, Shawn. It was just crowd. It was just, hey, we stole a bar. Okay,
Dude, that
crazy.
is awesome. But the next top of the morning topic, and the reason we brought you on, this hurt. This one hurt me, man. Former WNBA Finals MVP Kahleah Copper has been traded to the Phoenix Mercury. They got a couple players. They got the first round, number 3 overall pick this year, but that's the last link. All right, the rebuild is obviously continuing now since they gutted the team before, and she was one of the last starter on the team. Remember, after they won the title, 4 of the 5 starters were gone. They kept her, and she's a bad girl. She is a bad. I mean, hell, you don't win Finals MVP for nothing. It's not like it's a 1-game thing like Tim Smith in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Finals, a couple of games. All right, and it's gonna hurt us, man. It's gonna hurt us big time, and I don't know how long it's gonna be before the Sky become relevant again in the WNBA title chase again.
Yeah, this is disappointing. Let's just be honest. This is a gut punch to Chicago Sky fans. This is a travesty, and you throw this right at the feet of the Chicago Sky ownership. This is mismanagement. This is an act of sports stupidity. This is malfeasance. This is ridiculous, Shawn, and it didn't have to happen. Our guest Annie Constable, who's been on What's Up Cuz a couple of times, and is a beat writer for the Chicago Sun-Times, has called them out on this. I'm calling them out on this. 2021. We're in the middle of the pandemic. The Sky go ahead, they win this title, first one in the franchise history. They really put women's basketball on the map here in Chicago and took it to a new level. The very next year, they do bring most people back and they try to make a run for it. Can't do it. Then last year, Candace Parker departs, Quigley retires, Vandersloot goes and plays to New York. So you lose, a big chunk of the team. Yet they still made the playoffs last year. They still made the playoffs, with Copper, with Dana Evans, with some of the other pieces they were able to put together. And they made the playoffs despite James Wade leaving in the middle of the season.
So don't get me started on that, bro. Don't get me started.
Yeah, I know how you feel about that. So, you still have a chance here to really do something. You can really do something here. And the biggest problem was that the Sky swung and missed in free agency. They had targeted Skylar Diggins-Smith. Yep. They went after Skylar. They didn't get her. They went after Ndeke Udoka. Ndeke, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce her name right now. They went after her. They swung and missed. They had just signed Copper to an extension 6 months ago.
Yep.
And made promises, hey, we're going to build around you and Dana Evans, and we'll have a squad. They swung and missed in free agency these first few days, and then it seems like they just gave up. I was like, okay, well, we got to do something, so we're going to trade Cop. Now, I don't know if Cop went to them and said, hey, if you all can't bring in, some people, some horses that I can run with, then move me, or if the organization felt this was the time that they needed to do a full rebuild. Because no one has come out and actually spoken to the media. You know how I feel about that, Shawn. You know how I feel about when you do these major moves and then nobody wants to talk. We'll send out a press release. No.
Get your ass in front of the media.
Somebody needs to get their ass in front of a camera.
And the firing squad. Camera. Media.
Right. Just get there. Just get there. You got to take this one, man. They got to take this one, man. And the fact that the ownership is not willing to do this and they're willing to hide behind press releases, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. So I'm going to send a formal request and give them an invitation to appear on my show on Monday, because these are questions that people deserve to have answered, and we're tired of Chicago sports ownership groups. This is Chicago fans, man.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with the White Sox and their nonsense. We're dealing with the Bears in a rebuild. We're dealing with the Blackhawks in the middle of a rebuild. The Bulls can't trade Zach LaVine now because you signed him to a dumbass contract. We got all this stuff going on at once, and it's pretty sad. And what I thought was very interesting in all the press releases that they released yesterday is that I didn't hear from Coach Weatherspoon. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear from her. And, if we remember, this was the scene just a few months ago, shortly after they had signed Kopp to that long-term deal, and they hired new coach Teresa Weatherspoon. We were like, okay, yeah, this is great. And man, she got one of the best players in the NBA, in the WNBA to work with. And now all of a sudden, she lost her franchise player.
Yep.
She lost her franchise player. And I'm like, this is a terrible position to put a brand new coach in. And I was very interested to kind of hear what she had to say. And so we do now have a statement from Coach Weatherspoon. I'm just going to read it. It's very quick. Says, love the time that we did spend together. Keep that same energy and be you unapologetically. Love, hugs, and respect always. Coach. I don't know, Shawn, if I'm a coach and you tell me and my franchise player is traded before I even get to training camp, and I'm keep it real with you, WNBA coaches ain't making that much money. I wouldn't be surprised if she pulled up.
Oh my God, I was just about to say that, Jay. I was just about to say that. Like, I wouldn't be mad if she bounced. Said, you know what? Bump it. I'm out. You know what? I have to focus on my health. I don't feel well. I'm out.
Bounce, dog. And if she does bounce, that tells us everything we need to know. And so what I'll say is this, as a person who covers the WNBA, what you're seeing now is the players in the WNBA demanding more from their ownership groups. They're demanding better travel. They're demanding better facilities. Accommodations, and everything else. And the Sky are not on the top of that list. So when you see all these veterans going to New York, going to Las Vegas, going to Seattle now, Seattle has now got a coup. They're going to places that have the best ownership groups.
Yeah.
That's where they're going. And so now this one, again, needs to put right at the feet of the Chicago Sky ownership. What are you all going to do? Do you need to sell the team to a person with some money who's willing to put money into it?
Money, Jay. They got it. If you want, Miss Laura Ricketts is part of the ownership. Dwayne Wade is part of the ownership. We're talking, we're talking a billionaire in Ricketts, and we're talking a multi-millionaire in Dwayne Wade. They should have money. You know what I mean? So the thing is, they got to market these players. And you know what? And one of the things that I have an issue with that I've stated before is all these women's rights groups who complain about the disparity in pay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you gone to a WNBA game? Have you bought WNBA paraphernalia, jerseys? Okay,
if you can find it,
hey, it's on Fanatics. You're all online. You can get it. You know what I mean? But that's the legitimate part of it. Like they have issues, financial issues, because they don't sell out. And the product is actually a pretty good product. You had good players. So have you gone? Have you supported? Are you a season ticket holder? Okay, because if you aren't, then you really can't complain about the pay disparity, because the world revolves around money. They needed a TV deal. Okay, they need TVs. Stations aren't going to want to sign them if they know they're not going to get their money's worth in commercials. And how they get their money's worth in commercials? Because the games are sold out. People go. There's a waiting list. Their tickets are selling for a premium on the secondary market. All right, this is how it has to work. So before you complain about the WNBA players not making as much, are you contributing to the WNBA? If you're
Without
not,
a doubt.
you need the STFU. Sorry.
Without a doubt. And my biggest beef is, again, I'm wearing my Chicago Sky shirt that I got a couple of years ago, but it was like pulling teeth to find this. And remember, we were trying to find championship gear right after they won, and we were like, what the hell is all the gear? I had to go to the dude on 39th Street.
Oh.
He had it. I had to get the bootleg stuff. The league is not marketing their players. They're not advertising it enough. And, Chicago is now a victim of that. And, this is right at the ownership group. So I don't know what the Sky are going to do. I was really looking forward to them, signing a free agent because the White Sox are going to be terrible. So I guess I'm golfing and spending time with my wife this summer because the sports scene is going to be horrible. The Sky are not going to be good. Now, they do have the number 3 overall pick. And I want to say this real quick before we go to commercial. So you did get the number 3 overall pick. But let's be honest. You needed the number 1 or the number 2 if you want Caitlin Clark or you want Angel Reese.
Yeah.
So just getting the 3 is just enraging people even more because they're like, okay, if you got the 1, and we're like, okay, we know who you're getting. You're okay, that makes sense. You'll have so now you got 3. So you're just on. I'd rather you got 10.
Might as well, yeah.
So
you're the first loser. If you're at number 3, in this case, you're the first loser.
Right.
Because you can't lose with Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese.
You can't. And so now you've really got a problem here. We've got a huge problem here with the Sky. And I hate to say it like this, Shawn, but I gotta be honest, man. This could be one of them death blows to a franchise. It really could be because they don't have a solid enough footing yet in Chicago. They were building it. You were building it, but you don't have a solid enough footing where summertime shy, people are going to be like, all right, let me go check out
indoors.
Right.
Indoors to check out a basketball game, a women's basketball game. And you're right, Jay. They started with, remember, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, that whole momentum thing and that little rivalry there, and compound that with the Sky winning the title. You know what I'm saying? Those back-to-back years, the Sky and then Clark and Reese. And you're like, oh man! And it was that once at a fever pitch. Like, holy cow! There were tons of young girls groups and girls basketball teams at the finals or the playoffs and the final WNBA finals. It was great. All that momentum for naught.
You just killed it. You just killed it. And so we'll see what happens here. The season will begin in May. So they got a couple months to figure this out. I don't know who they're going to draft number 3 or what other moves they can make. But and let's not also forget that Courtney Williams, the point guard, also left. So they're in trouble. The Sky are in serious, serious trouble. And I don't know how they're going to recover for this, but I agree with you. Someone from that ownership needs to sit their ass down in front of a camera and talk to the media. Stop giving us these tweets and press releases and explain to us what the hell just happened.
Yeah. Jay, we got to let you go. You see my new shirt?
I do. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
These are all my Justin Fields haters. I've had quite a people attack me and about him. Like, no, you don't. Sky coaching is everything. Coaching is everything. You have no idea. Coaching matters.
Yeah, it does, especially in football.
But anyway, hey, Bubba, I appreciate it. Let everyone know where they can find you online and your show.
Hey, you can find us Monday nights here on Sports Zone Chicago. We got Shawn Marion coming up this Monday. The Matrix, Chicago native Shawn Marion is coming on What's Up Cuz this Monday night. And you can check us out online at Jay Coyden. You can follow me online on Twitter. Say what's up to my guy Buzz for me.
We'll do, baby. Later. All right, bet. Hey, guys, we're going to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, my man Buzz, Brad Squires from the On Tap Sports Net, is going to talk about that Bulls game yesterday. Oh, my God, Becky. It was amazing. Amazing. I didn't really want to go to a lot of Bulls games this year. I'm mad I missed that one yesterday, boy. And we're going to talk to my man Buzz on the other side. So keep it locked right here, folks. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Seven to shoot. Drummond in traffic, got to go. All day. No. Punched out by Gobert. It was kicked into the front court by Anderson. Caruso rejoined the play. Got it for a chance at 3.
Nice hustle that time.
Kobe, he checked him physically. Oh, Drummond blocks Gobert.
The Windex man. Bulls have 9 blocks tonight.
White, step back.
Oh, bang, bang, bang.
Good pass to Drummond.
Put it in there, Big Gray.
DeRozan drives, bounce to Drummond, plays it in.
Good pass, good play, good basketball play right there. That's a winning play by DeRozan.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC Sports Chicago. That was last night with a big 129-123 overtime victory. Our Bullies over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Man, that game was exciting. Kobe White channeled his inner Michael Jordan, 21 points in the fourth quarter. How many times did we see that at the United Center and at the old barn? All right, Mike said, you know what? Let me just take over. But Kobe did it from beyond the arc, 7 for 13. What the hell is that? 7 for 13. Kobe White hot. Let me tell you. My next guest, we're going to talk about this because that game was awesome, man. I know he was watching it. He's from the On Tap Sportsnet. You can find him on Twitter at BuzzOnTap. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya. Our guy, Brad Squires. Papa, what's up, Brad? How you doing, man?
What's up, dude? What's going on?
Happy New Year, bro.
After that overtime game last night, it took a lot of my soul from me watching that happen. That was insane. Good game though. It was fun.
Dude, all I got to say is I'm jealous. I hate every single person who was at that game.
Well, I tell you, man, I this team is so odd to me. Starting the first half last night, I don't know if you watched it in its entirety or not, but they just looked dead inside.
Yeah.
The ball wasn't moving. The ball was stagnant. Shots weren't falling. Kobe was struggling. As it looks like as Kobe White goes, so does the offense. And in the second half, adjustments were made. Kobe caught a hot streak. DeMar got his stuff together, and Vooch hit a couple big threes there, and they made it happen against. I almost want to say that Billy Donovan outcoached Chris Finch. I mean, kind of shout out to Shawn's T-shirt, Coaching Matters. Go buy that at sportzonechicago.com. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like he kind of outcoached Finch there, and it turned out to be a Bulls victory. But though it was a victory, I am scared that they beat one of the top teams in the West because we have the trade deadline looming in a couple days here, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know where you're at with them. We haven't talked in a while about it, but I am on team. Everybody should be moved besides one Kobe White.
You know what? I agree. Unfortunately, Zach, the whole situation with Zach is a cluster mess. All right. So he's out for the season with surgery. I think you should have moved him, but I mean, I shouldn't say that. They're trying to move him, right? They're trying to move him. You don't have inflammation for 4 to 6 weeks. It just doesn't happen. Dude, you can, I was saying you can recover from a pumpkin head, from an ass whooping and a swollen skull in 4 to 6 weeks, dude, not from your foot. They're trying to move him, bro, and no one wants that $215 million contract or $180-something left.
Well, the problem lies on the front office in that point, Shawn, and there are more reasons than one. And the reason being is they were caught in a rock and a hard place with Zach LaVine, as we talked about on your show before.
Yeah.
Pointed out on Bulls on Tap. You either had to pay him or let him walk for nothing. And, the Bulls decided to go with him and keep him around, which I'm sure not a lot of people would have bitched about that at the time because he was a 2-time All-Star looking like he was ascending upward. As time went on since that contract extension was signed, you had a chance at the trade deadline within the first year of the contract last year to move him and not overvalue him because he has been, a one-way player since we've had him. And I know a lot of people don't like Joe Colley, but he's been right about him since the beginning, even though I was resistant to those thoughts as well, but it's been proven to be true. Now you have a untradeable contract and a superstar player on your team, and you're kind of stuck in basketball hell again. And that's where you're at with Zach LaVine. DeMar DeRozan's on an expiring deal. He's a free agent at the end of the year. There's so many different reports now for people that buy check marks on Twitter or X or whatever you call it. You don't know what is what, but 1 minute the Bulls are going to stay with him. The next minute they're trying to move him. The Philly's going to give them a first-round pick. Orlando's interested. Now Philly's not interested. There's so many different variables that are at play here with the Bulls and what they can do with this current roster construction. At this point, it's got to be a fire sale. And the reason I say that is you are watching the ascension over the last 20 games. I pulled this up before I came on. Over the last 20 games, Shawn, Kobe White is averaging 22.3 points, 5.6 boards, and 5.5 assists in 20 games. That's just climbing up. It's just climbing up because he's scoring a lot. He's shooting at high percentages. You have a diamond in the rough that you could take pride in as an organization, that you've helped develop him into what he's becoming. I'm sure a lot of that is on his own accord as well, but you have a piece there. You have a couple of young pieces. I'm not ready to say anything positive about Patrick Williams being a future piece for the team, but there are some things there that can get you into a position to get into the draft because there are no assets to trade right now. And you don't want to give away Kobe White on an $11 million contract over the next 3 years. Mm-hmm. You just don't. He's making very minimal money.
Peanuts.
Not minimal. You know what I mean? NBA.
Peanuts. Yeah, NBA peanuts. Yeah.
Right. So basically, again, the thought process comes down to is what are you trying to do and what are you trying to be as an organization? Are you trying just to put the asses in seats because Bulls fans are, undying in their loyalty to the Bulls? They're still number one in attendance in the NBA to this day.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. It is. And as a former season ticket holder and somebody who's covered the team for, almost a damn decade now, just online, and all that. But I don't understand why you want to play in for a play-in spot. Shawn, 2 years ago, this did not exist. This was your out of the playoffs. This was a monumental failure if you're going to be a 9 seed. And they're just having trouble holding on to that. They're 3 games below 500. We get good victories here and there, and we get some times to celebrate. But at the end of the day, there's 3 people that need to be moved at this deadline because Zach is immovable, as you pointed out. It's got to be Drummond, Caruso, and DeRozan. And I hate that because I don't want to lose Caruso. I really love DeMar DeRozan. He has been my favorite Chicago Bulls signing of the 2000s. I can't think of anybody better. Maybe Pau Gasol for those couple years that he was here. Maybe. But DeMar DeRozan's made himself an all-NBA player, a 2-time All-Star in 3 years here in Chicago. It sucks that this has come down to this because they're not competitive. So they need to recoup any assets they possibly can. They don't have any second-round picks until 2028. They have this year's first-round pick. They were supposed to have Portland's, but Portland's going into the lottery if you watch. So they're not getting that pick. 2025, it's going to the Spurs. Unless you're deep in the lottery. You have to be in the lottery to get your pick because it's a lottery-protected pick, and that was from the DeRozan deal. So the Bulls have a lot of hard decisions looming and not a lot of time to make them.
Guys, we're joined by Brad Squires from the On Tap Sports Net talking Chicago Bulls basketball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Yeah, it's frustrating, man. You get wins like that, like we had last night, and yeah, it's rocking and rolling, but it's putting lipstick on a pig, and it's happy. It's good for one night, and we're all fired up. I'm screaming my freaking head off. I'm screaming over the. My mom was screaming. She's like, "Woohoo!" I was like, "That it was awesome watching the game yesterday." But then you realize in the reality of the situation, it's just a cluster mess. You talked about it, So do you let DeMar go for free? Are you trying to trade him? Does anyone want to say, hey, let me take this expiring contract? And it's just frustrating. And to me, not the most important, but one of the biggest things is Caruso. I love this kid. As soon as they got him, my cousin who lives out in LA called me and he cussed me out. He goes, "You son of a bitch." Like, what? I didn't even know that. He goes, "You guys signed Alex Caruso." I'm like, and he's like, "Watch. Just watch him a couple games and you'll see why LeBron was pissed that he's not here." I'm like, "All right, Steph. All right." And watched him. I was like, okay. He's not going to put up 50. He's not going to give you 30 rebounds. But this dude does every small little thing that you need. Phenomenal defense. I was like, okay. And now we got to get rid of. We should get rid of him because there's a lot of people that want him.
And that's the thing, Shawn, is like when you have a winning formula, Alex Caruso is like the key glue piece to come off your bench. Even if you get some spot starts here and there, you know how that goes if you're going to play some matchups. Yeah. We saw it last night with Drummond starting next to Vooch. That can't happen often because he's not going to be playing Rudy Gobert, a guy who lives in the paint every game. But, the adjustments were made. But with Caruso, he affects winning basketball. He can help you win basketball games. But what Caruso cannot do is be the guy that helps transcend a young team in a play-in spot into a guaranteed playoff spot. That's just not his game. He's not a consistent enough scorer. He does everything else perfectly. I don't want to lose him. But I can't believe I'm saying this. Alex Caruso holds the most trade value on this team outside of probably Kobe White on the contract he's on, Shawn. That's nuts. You have DeMar DeRozan. You have Nikola Vucevic. You have Zach LaVine. And we're talking about Alex Caruso holding the most value. And it's very, his contract's great. And then he's going to be going into an expiring deal next year. Will be his last year of his current contract. I mean, they're talking about this guy, coveting first-round picks, Shawn. That's insane. I don't know how you don't try to pull the trigger on that, especially when Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley depleted our draft picks. At the time, none of us bitched about it, right? You came out, You got the 35 games of excellence with Lonzo, Zach, DeMar, Vooch. Pat was in the starting lineup at the time. You had the bench who was looking pretty good. It all fell apart quickly. And every time we talk about this, we have to realize that was 3 years ago. It's 3
Time
seasons.
flies, dude. Holy cow.
You blink and it's over. I mean, I have like 3 little girls at home, man. I blinked and my oldest is 5. This is what's happened. The Bulls had something. It was taken away due to injury. And then we haven't gotten a rebound since. We have not rebounded since to construct the roster in a way where it can compete with high-level teams. You look in the East. You look at Milwaukee. You and I both know we're not getting past Milwaukee, and they're struggling over there, but we're still not beating them in a 7-game series.
Nope.
Joel Embiid, he's out. He's going to be back by playoff time. I'm not counting my blessings saying we're going to get past him. I don't see that happening. The New York Knicks, Chicago native Jalen Brunson, MVP candidate, Shawn, and I don't care what anybody says. MVP candidate. We're not getting past the Knicks. We're not getting past Miami because, Jimmy Butler's he's been laying dormant all year, and he's going to come and do what he does in the playoffs like he does every year. He's going to come and dominate.
He's going to perm his hair, get nice and straight, and destroy us.
That's exactly. So I don't know what AK and Mark Eversley are seeing that we as fans are not, because there's a reason I work at a job like this that you guys see in the background, and I don't work in NBA front office. But I think I know enough to know that this formula isn't going to work to get us to where we want to go, and it's time to pivot and look towards the future. And there's a 23-year-old point guard on this team that's ready to take the reins.
Is the seat hot at all for Acme, for Karnisovas, or Mark Eversley?
No.
And
so I have a few friends that cover the team, and I have a few people that work in the organization itself that I talk to regularly. And obviously they're not going to, the people that work in it probably aren't going to divulge the information that I'm asking. But from what I have been told, they are not on the hot seat at all. Neither is Billy Donovan. And, a lot of people don't like that about Bill. A lot of people have turned on Billy D. But if you look at the roster construction, what do you want him to do? He doesn't have a true power forward on the team outside of Torrey Craig. And listen, that's another guy. You put him on a winning team, he'll play you a little defense. He'll come off the bench. He'll give you 15 strong minutes, and that's it. This guy shouldn't be playing 25 to 30 minutes. He should not do it. Just should not. Billy has received a roster that has been injured since he's pretty much gotten here. Not really well put together, besides when they were all healthy. Mm-hmm. And I get being under 500 and wanting to put the coach on the hot seat, but there's only a couple guys. I mean, there's not even 4 people on this team that are in the constant rotation that are averaging over 10 points a game. Shawn, it's DeMar at 22.3 points per game. Kobe White, who's raised it from when he finally took the reins over after Zach went out initially. Mm-hmm. So he's at 19.4 points per game now. Then you have Vooch at 17.3 points. The next guy next to him that will suit up again, points per game wise, this season, we think is Patrick Williams at a career high 10 points per game. You don't have enough shot creators. You don't have enough 3-point shooters. You don't have enough people that play within the offense that Billy Donovan has brought into the NBA, that he has brought from Florida and rebuilt it to fit the NBA game. You don't have it. And it's very concerning because the front office says all the right things, that Billy's not on a hot seat. It's not Billy, blah, 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 blah. But you're not giving him the things to succeed. If anybody should be on the hot seat, it should be AK and Mark Eversley. And if we really want to get rowdy about it, it should be the Reinsdorf family who keep putting us through this shit time and time again.
Yeah, it really should be. And that's the thing is, they're not on the hot seat. The roster construction has been horrible. The depth in this team is horrible. It's and the only thing is, it's so evident. As long as you win a couple games like last night, and people get excited, people are going to still want to go. You just talked about how they're still up there in attendance, and this is if you're a businessman, hey, it's great. It's a great maneuver. I mean, beside the big contract from Zach, there's really no huge contracts. You know what I mean? Maybe Lonzo Ball's, but you're not.
Well,
you're nowhere near
expiring at the end of next year.
Yeah, and you're nowhere near the luxury tax, so it's not. It's a darn shame what they're doing to the fans. To this organization, and they fall. You talk about a fall from glory. It's been, we were excited with Derrick Rose and that whole thing, and that never. We got to the Eastern Conference Finals, and that was it. And never once, if I'm not mistaken, just once, and never returned again. So
there's players in the 2024 NBA draft, because me, I'm a college ball junkie. That's my vice. I've been watching a ton of it. I really enjoy ESPN Plus because you get the G League games now. You get to watch the Ignite play, and a lot of kids are going over there and taking that opportunity. Mm-hmm. You have some players coming out in 2024 that I'm not sure if they're going to be transcendent talents, but if you can get yourself there to get one of them that can become a key rotation piece, and then get yourself into 2025. Get yourself up there in 2025. There are some players coming out in 2025, Shawn, notably Cooper Flagg. He's committed to Duke. this kid could be, one of these unicorns that we're starting to see. I'm not going to say he's up on a Victor Wembanyama level or anything like that, but he could be on a Chet Holmgren level. He's a big, he could shoot, he can get into the paint, he can do the thing. He's one of those newbies that are coming out, the new style of NBA player. And when you see things like that, you look at how the NBA is currently constructed now. Free agency used to be a huge deal, dude. It used to be a huge deal in the NBA, but we've noticed over the last couple of years, how are these superstars getting moved, Shawn? They're getting moved by being traded. And then they're signing extensions. That's how they're being moved. So free agency's out the window. Plus, we were never a free agent destination for the most part anyway.
Nope.
So you have that to take into consideration. Now, if you can't trade because you don't really hold any assets that are tradable to bring you somebody in that can help you, maybe some picks like Caruso for some picks, Drummond for some second-round picks, maybe a protected first from a playoff team if you could get it. Same with DeRozan. But now you got to try to get picks so you can get into the draft. So you can't trade. You don't have free agency. It only seems like you have one more lane to choose, and that's the draft. So why are we trying to remain competitive until the last moment? Until the last moment. We should have been having these guys gone. Yeah. It should have happened that way. And I know it sounds so negative, and for the people that are listening, I'm so sorry I came out and probably ruined your fucking Wednesday morning. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't want to do that, but it's just it's so puzzling to me to look at the construction and have somebody oversee it and say, yeah, this looks good. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It really doesn't. It's the cool part about it is I guess really the only cool part about it is just the maturity and the growth of Kobe. That dude's got balls of steel. Like a couple of it were like 26, 28 feet. I was like, damn. He shot a couple from Winnetka. I was like, damn, Kobe. And it's great to see his development. Now we need another person. We need more people. Man, can you imagine if P. Will had the development that Kobe's had? And again, and they're both freshmen, who came out, so they're both young at 19 years old. But Kobe's, I had Darnell Mayberry on last week, and he was just saying like Kobe's work ethic is crazy. But we see Patrick Williams' work ethic is crazy in the offseason. But why hasn't it transferred to Patrick, but it's transferred to Kobe? I have no idea.
Kobe was drafted in 2019. It was 2017 was Lowry, 2018 was Wendell, 2019 was Kobe, 2020 was Patrick Williams. I don't have any excuses for Patrick Williams and why he has not transcended. Look, the physical raw talent is there. We know the kid can pull up. He could pull up in the midi. And he just rises above. He's able to hit mid-range shots. He could shoot the three at a high clip on, pretty decent attempts. It comes down in between the ears for Patrick Williams. He needs to realize that you don't have to be this guy that stands in the corner because there are vets here. Because newsflash, one of the vets here in Zach LaVine has one of the worst winning percentages in NBA history. So let's just take that. Yes, have the cards he's been dealt suck? Going to Minnesota and then a rebuilding Chicago Bulls team? Sure, of course. But he's a Monte Ellis. I said this 2 years ago on Twitter and was completely roasted about it. He's an empty calorie scorer. He got himself into the All-Star game, but he also had two All-Stars, one, and then a former All-Star alongside of him to do it. You know what I mean? I mean, Patrick Williams needs to realize, like, okay, this team, whatever we're doing now is not working, and I'm watching Kobe cook. Let me take some pressure off Kobe and see if I could do the same thing. He needs to work on his handles. Those are still not crisp yet. He has a lot of work to do, but from everything that we have read and everything that we've seen from Patrick Williams, he does take his craft seriously. He does travel in the offseason to work with teammates, and he tries to be the best player that he can be. He needs to put it between the ears and know that he can do it. That's my assessment. Now, he could tell me to F off, and I'm completely wrong. But, that's my assessment from the outside looking in. Kobe White's ascension, look, his rookie year when he came out, he was doing some shit. Kobe White was doing things. We saw it in his first 2 years in the league. We knew he was a microwave. He can get hot quick. He could score quick. Then you had the questions, can he be the point guard of the future because he looks only to score? Well, he worked on that. So all those people that said he couldn't be a point guard are now eating their words because he can be a point guard, and he's showing you that he could do it. Put the people around him that he needs, shooters and probably a good pick and pop big. And I think you'll be in good shape with him.
I hope so, because I love watching him play. He's just exciting. You saw yesterday after the game, his teammates were crazy, interrupting the interview with Casey Johnson and, just celebrating him. You know, and you know, in case he wanted, you know, ask him, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to talk about me." Like, I love that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love his and the resiliency. I mean, how many times did they try to trade, you know, Kobe White?
He's been in rumors for 2 years.
And he's, you know what? The thing is, he put his head down. He went to work, went to practice, and Darnell was saying, like, man, he goes, he'll be there late night. He'll be there at the Advocate Center overnight. Him and his brother, I believe he said, you know, shooting. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm like, that's what happened. That's who's there when I leave output. Oh, never mind. Sorry. But I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see. And I'm glad. I if no other reason, like, I might even go to a Bulls game now just to see Kobe White hot. Seriously, that's the only reason. And I don't care if I want to see him pull up from Winnetka again.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and again, it's a splash.
There was Steph Curry range last night.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
You know, and it was great to see. Like I said, watching Kobe transcend into what could be considered right now as maybe in the future a fringe all-star. But I mean, who's to say he's not going to keep getting better? He's young, and now he's finally getting the reins, and he's being the man on an NBA team. I mean, we're watching development every night, so that's why you should tune in to watch the Bulls, is because you see a guy like Kobe White and you see him getting better. Now it's just trying to get the whole team in itself better, because this game is not back when we were growing up and I was young, like, you could let's look at a small guard. I mean, I know Kobe's 6'5", but, you know, like, Allen Iverson could carry a team to the finals with really nobody alongside of him and an aging Chris Webber, right? That doesn't happen today. You need a couple all-stars on that team. You need a couple complementary players that are going to get you 15 to 20 points a game. You're going to need that. Kobe doesn't have that right now. He has as much as I love DeMar, when DeMar gets into his spots, and you can use overtime as last night when Kobe White really didn't get that ball after he brought us back from the dead. It becomes a ball stopper because DeMar doesn't play within that offense. It goes in, and people can say, oh, it's not ISO. They're setting up, picks on the side, or they got a floppy running on the side. No, they don't. The defense knows immediately. You tell me you've never played basketball without telling me you've ever played basketball. He gets into these situations where, what does DeMar do? He brings the big up. He looks for the screen and the switch. And then he gets into the mid-range game while everybody does what? Stands. That's what needs to stop. And yes, did it work last night? Sure the fuck did. But there's a reason they're 3 games under 500.
Brad, great stuff, Up. I appreciate it. Do me a favor, and I'm not even going to ask you about the White Sox. I got my next guy coming up talking about that.
No, we don't want to talk about that. But I do want to – one thing before I go, I do want to say I agree with you on the Justin Fields thing. The hatred that kid is getting right now is unbelievable. Chicago Bears fans should be ashamed of themselves, just like they should have been ashamed of themselves when they did it to Cutler. You can't succeed in the NFL if you have 4 different offensive coordinators and 2 different head coaches in whatever year, in 3 years. You just can't. It's not fair. He has to keep learning a new system. I want the Bears to win. So if it's Caleb Williams, it's Caleb Williams, but Justin Fields got a raw deal, and I'll die on that hill.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, true.
I gotta order that shirt. I gotta order that shirt, Shawn.
It'll be up. It'll be sale soon, man. I was talking to somebody on Twitter. Sometimes when I feel like going into those depths, I'll get on Twitter, and I was like, dude, do you even have any idea how much coaching matters? And I was like, oh, because I got the idea. Did you ever watch the TV show Power on Stars?
Yeah.
So. Remember when Ghost got arrested at the end of the season? Or, Angela arrested him at Truth.
Yep.
So for the whole offseason, I don't know why I didn't do this. I was going to make T-shirts that said #FreeGhost and sell them on eBay. And why I didn't do it, I have no idea. And I'm like, because that would have been the whole off season until the next season started. It would have sold like hotcakes. And I was like, no. And so I needed another one. And when I was talking with that dude, I'm like, you know what? Coaching matters. I was like, yeah, that's what it is. Coaching
the logo for Sports Zone Chicago is dope as hell. You need to dye the shirt blue, orange, and put the whole shirt blue with your logo, and then have in orange #Coaching Matters. Because I'll wear it right to the home opener for the Bears. You know me, I make an ass of myself. I'll stand on the chair, pound beers, and be like, no wonder why we suck. We have 75 different coaches within the span of 3 years. We got to do something, man. We got to start taking the teams back here.
We do. Hey, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You guys can find me on Twitter at BuzzOnTap, on Tap Sportsnet. You all know where to find me if you watch the show. Have a good one, bro.
All right, buddy. Guys, that's Brad Squires from the On Tap Sports Net talking Bulls basketball. We're going to take a quick break, and then on the side of the break, we're going to talk about the other Reinsdorf team. And it won't be a long conversation because there ain't shit to talk about with these guys. My guys in the chat, Hirsch, he texted me yesterday in a group text like, "Oh, I have your opening day tickets." I'm like, it's just X amount of dollars for the opening day ticket, this and this. I'm like, no, I just want to go to the tailgate. He's like, I'm not having a tailgate. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm not giving that Mother Hubbard money. I told you what I was going to do. I was going to park at the Mariano's right by 33rd, okay, in Ashland, walk to 35th, hop the bus, join the tailgate, drink my face off, hop the bus, or go to Cork and Carries at the park, or Turtles right there on 33rd across the park, across Armour Park, and then go back. I wasn't going to the game. I'm not spending $8 for a pop. All right, $7 for a slice of pizza, not for the product he's putting out. And he's not having a tailgate. I was like, no. And apparently a lot of people that I know who were doing tailgates before aren't having tailgates. I'm not giving that joker money. So I may go to 3 games this year, maybe. But me and my next guest are going to talk about it. So don't go anywhere. My man Emilio Bucks from the Plunked podcast is going to join us. So keep it locked right here, folks. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
To run for 17, back he goes, here comes Chubb, there goes the ball, touchdown, Mooney! Jones will walk at the left tackle, time for Fields, now he'll accelerate to get the first down, great tackles, and he's off to the races, and we got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
Same old, and that isn't the way he's going to win games.
That is strike 3 called. Pivotal pitch and a good start to the first pitch. Modified windup. Robert on a line left center field. He tags that one into the gap and shoots it all the way to the wall. 2 strike, 2 out double for Luis Robert. Took you through 23 pitches in the first, and now Kemp pulls this one on a line into right center, and a diving bid and catch by Thompson. Lenny Sosa goes first pitch, hunting, and he vaults one to left. 2 nights in a row, a home run for Lenny Sosa. 2 out in the third, he goes first pitch swinging and unloads to left.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC Sports Chicago. Those were the good guys. I don't even know what to say. That's going to be except for opening day, because a lot of people are going to go to opening day. I'm telling you, I wish we would all boycott it, but I know a lot of people are going to go. That'll probably be the most packed you'll see Sox Park next year. My next guest is a good friend of the program. He's the host of the Plunked podcast, 2 Teams, 1 City, on the Chicago Clubhouse network. You can find him on Twitter at ebucks, B-U-C-K-S, ebucks76. Guys, let's welcome back Shawn and Maya, our guy, Emilio Bucks. Emilio, what's up, Papa?
What's up, brother? How you doing today?
I am wonderful. I'm on the last day of my 3-day water fast, so I'm a little freaking out. I'm ornery.
Going?
Yeah, I'm ornery. And it worked good for CrossFit because I was just so mad because I'm hungry.
There
I was
you go.
throwing shit around. And all I have is fucking water.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
enough to make
look at my new
anybody.
shirt, Papa. Look at my new shirt.
Hey, I'm feeling it, man. Coaching matters. Hey, that goes across the board, man.
Yes,
Pick a
it
team
does,
in
Doctor.
Chicago. Pick a team, any team, except the Cubs.
Yeah, because they got they know. That's why they got their guy.
That's why they got their
know.
guy.
Let's talk about the good guys, man. I was just saying, my guy Hirsch was sent out a thing yesterday, like he's having opening day, and I'm like, and I just wanted to go to the tailgate. Dude, why the hell should White Sox fans even go to that place this year?
I would say the reason why the Bulls are another Reinsdorf-owned team are also like a top of the league in attendance. Even though they're putting out a BS product, is stupidity. We're gluttons for punishment. We're huge sports fans. We want to believe. We want to get behind our teams, but and we're glutton for punishments, and we got nothing else to do. So I don't know. That's the only reason I see why support them. There's no real reason to support them. There's no good reason to support them.
You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I may go to a couple more games and now that I think about it, because I forgot. Do I have it here? Ah, shoot. So, my guy owns a bar, Output, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things, obviously, he's inundated with vendors all the time. Buy this liquor, buy this, whatever, get bottle cases of this, whatever. So Jack Daniels, and then they give him shit. They give him, here, try this. Give him Miller Lite. They gave him a nice little old school starter jacket, Bear starter jacket, because they support Bears, whatever. And they gave him, they had a promo where they were giving out plastic flasks.
Nice.
I was like, shut the fuck. Did I have it with you that day when we met at the game?
Yes.
Yes.
You did share flasks.
So yes. So that would be the only reason I would go. So I'll get tickets on the secondary market. I'll go to Game Time or some other app. All right. We need to talk to Game Time about getting free pub. But anyway, I'll pay $8 for a ticket. Okay. Sneak my ass down into the 100 level, buy a $7 bottle of pop and of Sprite or Coke, and mix my vodka.
And look at some terrible product out on the field.
I'll stop at 35th Street Dogs before I go in.
There you go.
Get a couple hot dogs.
So it's all about not putting any money in Reinsdorf's pocket.
Bingo.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I get toe up on the flow up, and I end up spending $7 on the pop, on the one bottle of Sprite or Coke.
There you go, man. But your presence still speaks volumes. You just taking the time out of your day, because that's worth something too. Your time, the money is one thing, but time is valuable too. And I don't know a good reason to even spend the time going to, besides for maybe a little camaraderie amongst your friends.
That would be it. That'd be the biggest reason, bro. The biggest reason.
This is a team who was last year 29th in runs, 30th in on-base percentage, and the list, the terrible stats go on and on from there, and have done really nothing to improve those stats.
Pacoda came out, bro. Did you hear? Pacoda came out. So Pacoda came out, and they're on preseason predictions. So the Cubs are set. They have them at 82.2 wins with a 31.2% chance of making the postseason. And the White Sox are pegged to win 65. Man, anything
with
less than that,
0% chance to make the postseason.
Zero. And anything less than that is you're looking at another 100-loss season. And Pacoda, I don't know how they do it, those crazy some guns, but man, they are pretty accurate, especially with our teams. Like, how the hell are you, man? I honestly, I don't know. Talk to me about Lou Bob. All right. Lou Bob is literally the only, well, not the only. You still got Dylan Cease. But talk to me about Lou Bob, and what do you think is going through his psyche? Because now he's thinking, all right, Tim Anderson's gone, and he hasn't been picked up by anybody that I remember. So what do you say? All right. you traded Santos, you traded a whole bunch of pitching. Man, what do you think is going through the mind of Luis Robert? Like, man,
Luis Robert knows he's in baseball hell right now. The best he could do is go out there and play his ass off and hopefully audition for another team. And hopefully the Sox completely tear this thing down and trade him off. Or I don't know what his contract situation is right now. Is he still on his
super cheap? Yeah, he's on that that team friendly deal that they got him for.
Yeah. So right now, I don't necessarily believe in playing for the name on the back, but right now he's truly playing for the name on the back of the uniform in hopes of getting on with a team that he could be proud to represent the name on the front. Because right now there's no pride in playing for this team right now. This team has shown no pride. This team has shown no real effort at trying to get better. We still don't have a second baseman. Now we don't even have a shortstop. We're waiting on Colson Montgomery to come up, but we'll see how that goes. Your boy Moncada is still over at third. He says he is on track to have a breakout season. He said he's feeling good. So we'll see what happens there. Hey, maybe they'll surprise us and lose
win
less
70
than
games?
100 games.
And they'll win 70 games?
Maybe they'll surprise
So
us.
here's his contract. So last year he made 9.5. We're talking Lou Bob. Dude, that's a freaking steal. This year he's making 12.5. 2025 he'll be making 15. 26 and 27 are club options where he'll be making 20 each. And if you're the White Sox, you better pick those up because that $20 million, it's a decent price. It's not cheap. It's not peanuts like 15 or 12.5. But for what he's doing,
assuming he stays healthy, that's a deal.
Yeah. For him, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then in 2028, when he's 30, he'll be an unrended free agent.
God, that poor guy.
I mean, well, I don't know about poor because
not poor, not literally.
I like to come from a third world country, Papa. He's already made. What was his contract was 88? I'm sorry, 6 for 50, 6 years for $50 million. Yeah, I don't. I think his money can go kind of far in Cuba or Dominican Republic, wherever he wants to live in the off season.
Cuba, wherever he lives during the off season. I spoke, bite my tongue about poor guy. He's definitely not a poor guy or poor man. But a guy wants to win games. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it, we know these guys are competitors. They're the ultimate competitors, which is why they're playing at such a high level in the majors now. And these guys want to win. And dare I say, money isn't everything. It's a lot, especially to those who don't have any. But the guy wants to win, and he's not set up to win for the next number of years. The Sox have him locked in for at least another 2 years. And
4 because they can option those.
Oh yeah, so what the unrestricted free agency doesn't kick in until when?
28.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
when he's 30. So that's
30.
That's unfortunate. He's
26 this year, 12.5 million. He'll be 27 next year for 15, and 26 and 27. Those are the club option years at 20 apiece, 20 each year. And then in 2028, when he's 30, he'll be an unrestricted free agent.
That's a shame. But
so what about? So he's one of the superstars that you can go see, definitely go see, and hope he parks one in the fundamentals deck up there. But what about Dylan Cease? All right, they thought they're going to move him. They talked about moving him. Are they still going to move him? And if so, where? Is there a chance he can go back to where he came from on the north side?
I think as long as he stays here with the Sox, his value is going to lessen. Just that stink is going to stay with him. And we've seen a guy in Dylan Cease who kind of seemed like he pitched up to kind of the expectations of the team last year. Like he had a kind of a down year last year, as did the entire team. I don't know if they're going to move him. I think they kind of miss their peak value of moving him.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, but just like the White Sox or any Chicago team, they still find him more valuable than the rest of the league finds him. And so they're probably asking, an unreasonable price for him, which is why he hasn't been moved thus far. I would only imagine the only reason he hasn't been moved thus far is because they're asking too much for him. And yeah, is he a reason to go out and see? Yeah, like every fifth game, possibly. We'll kind of
we got to monitor. When did he pitch? Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Circle. As long as no one gets hurt. Okay, this game.
When is Dylan pitching and is Lubob playing? So that's very few interesting games that we're looking at for this Sox team coming up this year. And I don't know, like I haven't been this down on the team since I can't remember being this down. We've been through some stinky years, but I don't remember being this down on the team and just kind of disgusted and then all of this talk about moving to a different location, and it's like, just build a team. You know what I mean?
Don't worry about the stadium. That'll come after if you build a team.
If you build a team, people will come down to 35th.
Yes, they will.
The people will come down to 35th if you build a team, and they're doing things, putting the carriage before the horse as usual and doing things backwards. I don't know what else to say, Shawn.
Guys, we're joined by Emilio Bucks from the Plunked Podcast, talking White Sox baseball here. Why, we don't know. But we're talking White Sox baseball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. You know what it is? I hadn't talked to my guy. So I'm like, let me get him on, and we'll talk a little White Sox.
Hey, it's always good to be here talking with you, brother. So you know what I mean? Even if we don't have anything good to say.
I appreciate it. But you know what? Here's the funny thing. There's still talent on this team.
Yeah, because
there's still talent on this team. Bingo. That was my it's a great minds think alike. You go, boy. What happens with Eloy? What do you expect from him? Like, he's going to DH. I know he wants to play. I still want to play left field. Nah, keep your ass on the bench. Come off every 2.5, 3 innings. All right, the bat. But what do you expect from him? Because, like, for me, Emilio, everything is here. Everything is here with all these guys. Everything with Yo-Yo, with Eloy, with Lubob. If he comes out with the right frame of mind, and and hopefully he's putting that work in, this dude could have maybe be on the fringe, or maybe how much and how focused he is, he could be in the MVP conversation. We've talked about it the last couple of years, how many MVP candidates perennial we could have if they get their mind right. Where do you think Eloy is going to be this season mentally?
Mentally, he's kind of immature, so I think he's just gonna have fun like he always does. I don't think he's gonna take any of this overly serious, because he's not an overly serious guy. He's still got a couple of his boys on the team, Lubob and Moncada, and maybe Andrew Vaughn, and a couple of the leftovers from our rebuild that remain. And I think you're gonna see the same smiling Eloy, and will he stay healthy enough to stay in the DH spot? That remains to be seen. If he does, I think he'll be one of the best hitters on the team. May not be saying a lot, but he'll be one of the best hitters on the team, as he's been when he's healthy and in the lineup the past number of years. So I expect him to still perform. Pedro Grifol, I don't know how much he had to do with the mindset of Luis Robert last year, because Luis Robert played his ass off last year in the outfield and at the plate, so coaching does matter. So do we give any praise to Grifol for what he did with Luis Robert? I don't know. We'll kind of have to see how he does with this team this year. Just kind of a disappointing situation overall. I hope the best. I hope that maybe they'll surprise us and win some games, and like maybe the coach can get these guys to play hard. If you can get these guys to play hard, you never know what can happen. But at the end of the day, I don't think we really have the horses to really compete.
Well, you know what? I know I'll be there one game because me and you are going to meet up again, and I'm going to fill that damn flask up, Papa.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're damn sure filling that flask up, boy. I love it. I love
You
it.
know it.
Hey, great stuff, man. I appreciate your time, Emilio, as always. You know, I love talking sports with you.
Always a
do me a
pleasure,
favor.
brother.
Let everybody know where they can find you, your work, your podcast, and everything online.
Well, come the beginning of the season, you can find us on Plunked via the Chicago Clubhouse Network. Right now, you can also catch me and my co-host Christian Petit on Bullspit, also on the Chicago Network Clubhouse Network. And you know, I don't know, we're supporting these Reinsdorf teams. Sell the team, Jerry.
Damn it.
And you can catch me on Twitter or X at Emilio at ebuck76. And we'll talk some shit, man. You know,
sounds good, Papa. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate
All right,
it.
brother.
We'll
Good
talk soon.
seeing you.
I can't wait to finish the flask with you.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. Let's bring two.
Okay, I saw them on Amazon. I'll hit my guy, see if you got any extra plastic flasks. If so, we'll fill up both. I'll get you what you want. What do you want? Some dark liquor?
I'm a dark liquor guy. I'm a whiskey bourbon guy. You know what I mean?
Okay, bet. I'm a Tito's guy, so I get.
All right, there you go. You have your dirty
liquor.
Sprite.
I am light skinned, so you know.
Okay. Whatever works, man, to get us through 9 innings of some subpar baseball.
We're gonna need it. Hey, great stuff, buddy. We'll talk soon, man. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Take care, man. Have a good day.
All righty. Guys, that was Emilio Bucks from the Plunked podcast and the Bullspit podcast on Chicago Clubhouse Network, talking White Sox baseball with it. I told you it was going to be short because I ain't shit to talk about my White Sox. Yes, I still hate Cub fans and their whole fan base, and I know my team sucks. So screw all you. Anyway, my next guest, I'm fired up to talk with him, man. This is the most divisive. This is even a bigger crater than Cub Sox. Justin Fields, Caleb Williams. I'm going to talk with my guy. I want to see what we're going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk what else we need and then what he wants to do with the number 1 pick. You know, he's a head honcho over there at Windy City Gridiron. So we're going to talk to him on the other side of the break. So, and that's Lester Wilfong Jr., the one and the only. So don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to take a quick break and we'll come back. All right. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Off the fake. Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James. Fields with time. Delivers down the field. And Cowboys still running. Made one way. Fields stumbling. Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
Do you know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am, whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman. kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20. Breaks free of the 25 to the 30. To the outside. 40. Midfield. 40. 30 of the coast. 20. 15. Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown Bears!
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of CBS. That was just the other day, the anniversary, 17 years ago. 17. What in the blue hell? How did that time go so freaking fast? What? That was Devin Hester running back the opening kickoff. And he should be, and we're talking to my man about this as well. He should be inducted mañana. His third try, but hey, better late than never. But my next guest is a good friend of the program. He's been rocking with us for years. All right. He's the head honcho, the EIC editor-in-chief. All right. Of Windy City Gridiron. You can find him on Twitter at Wiltfong Jr., Wiltfong Jr. Guy, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya. Lester Wiltfong Jr. Lester, what's up, Papa? Good morning.
What's going on? How you doing?
I am wonderful. I'm showing this baby.
Oh, yeah. Coach Flus, let's see what he's got this year.
Yes. We're going to see what Mr. Waldron has. Then they already named a parking structure after his ass. He ain't even done nothing for us. What the hell? Right?
Jeez.
But man, good to have you, bro. Good to have you. You know, there's obviously there's a lot going on, and as I said before, like this fan base has been really, really divided. It's been really toxic about this thing, and people, you know, it's interesting. Not even interesting. It's just funny. How you don't agree with someone and you're a clown. You don't agree with someone, you're an idiot. You don't agree. I was like, man, bro, like you played, you play NFL Madden. That's what you play. And you don't, but I'm an idiot. Dude, it's hilarious. Talk to me about how crazy the schism is between Justin Fields fans, Caleb Williams fans.
I mean, the whole thing's idiotic to me. I mean, we're all Bears fans. I mean, we're cheering for the Navy and Orange regardless of who it is. I mean, I cheered for Caleb Haney. I cheered for Jonathan Quinn. You know what I mean? I cheered for Henry Burris. I cheered for some really shitty quarterbacks in my day. You know what I mean? It's
and that's an insult to shitty quarterbacks.
I've watched a horrible franchise for decades. I mean, I'm old enough where at least I got to see the 80s, right? So I had a chance to see my favorite team win a title, but this team has been awful for a long time now. I mean, get the quarterback right. I mean, I don't care who it is. You know, if Ryan Poles decides it's Caleb, take Caleb, trade Justin, see what you get. If he decides to go the other way, fine. I mean, there's paths here to go, but you talk about the toxicity on social media. It's like, some people are so dug in where it's like they're inventing things to criticize the other guy. It's like, dude, just what are we doing here? Then if someone says, "Oh, I think they're going to do this," you're an idiot, like you said. It's like, okay, whatever, dude. I just stay out of it, man. It's gonna what'll happen will happen. I'm gonna cheer for them either way. I mean, I believe I have my thoughts of what I think will happen. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't matter to me. It's the Bears.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? I'm looking forward to it. And everything we give is speculation because we don't know. I mean, I'm waiting for Ryan Poles to call me back. He's supposed to call me back in a little bit. Right. But, when he calls me back, and then I'll let you guys know what he says. So, but I'll just wait until he calls us back.
But I will tell you, man, some people are dug in so hard. If it doesn't go their way, backtrack in the city all over social media. There's guys that are like, you're a moron if you think this. Now, what happens if you're wrong, man? Yeah, I mean, it's
and who's a moron?
Yeah, and then of course, it's funny because people are already starting to hedge their bets. So like,
yes, they are.
Like people that were so like such a prick like a few months ago, now they're starting to flip. Well, maybe they might. It's like, come on, man, you can't be an asshole to everybody, and then all of a sudden try and fluff things up by being cool.
I'm just playing. That was a joke. That was a joke,
man. That's who you are. That's who you showed us you were.
Exactly.
You're a dick over sports. That's who you are. It is what it is.
I can't believe I'm quoting Maya Angelou, but she said, when people show you who they are the first time, believe them. And it's like,
There it
come
is.
on, dude. And you know what? And people will say, so I've tweeted a couple times. I haven't wavered one bit that I think Justin Fields is the best particular guy to lead this team. And, people are like, well, he's this, and the numbers are this. And I'm like, look, bro, because I am pro Fields doesn't mean I think that Caleb Williams is a child molester, bro. Like, I can want him to be successful too. I want Justin to lead this team. I want Caleb Williams to have a great career. Okay, I really do. Because I don't know if you know, one of my teammates, one of my good friends from college, was his high school coach, as the head coach in Gonzaga. So yeah, I'm gonna root for him. I think Justin's the best guy, and you can agree to disagree, and that's cool. We're on opposite sides of the fence. Your opinion's fine. I respect it. I don't agree with it, and we can move on. But people think that you have to be, if you're one, then you can't really root for the other, and that's unfortunate because I think that both can be good, but I truly think that Justin is the leader of this team. And yeah, he's got warts, but also you have to understand coaching matters. All right, coaching matters, and when you have 3 different offensive coordinators, okay, with Nagy, Laser, Getsy in 4 years. I mean, in 3 years, like, come on, man, something's got to give, and you can't players can't develop themselves. Otherwise, why the hell would we need coaches?
Exactly. But
talk to me about this team, because I'm a big trade the number 1 pick because, one, I think Justin is the guy. I have seen enough from him to know that he can make any throw possible. Okay, he's got to clean up a few things, but then again, no quarterback's perfect. But he's got it. But that's where coaching comes in. I'm looking at the Hall, bro. This can be, when it's all said and done, when we finally if we trade this pick and get a couple players and whatever, we could literally get 11 picks from last year's number 1 pick. That's how you build a team. Yeah. And they're going to be all first and second rounders too. We're not getting, I want your 6th round. No. This is why one of the reasons that I'm really for, another reason that I'm sticking with Justin, that my thing is, Steven, look at the Hall. Talk to me about what kind of players you think we can get if we trade back 1 spot with Washington, because that makes so much sense. Yeah. Or double trade back Washington and New England, or a triple trade back. What kind of players do you think we can get if we trade back?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple. I think Schefter did a spot yesterday on ESPN. Tom Pelissaro had a spot last week where they talked about, Caleb Williams is so highly sought after that even if it's Washington going up 1, it's going to take multiple firsts. So, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, if that's where the bidding starts here, then, I mean, the Bears are obviously in a good situation. And look, regardless whatever was happening behind the Bears as far as who hires what coach, teams are always going to want to come up for Caleb Williams because he has been the consensus number 1 quarterback for what, three years now. I mean, since he was in high school, he was touted as the next guy. So he's always been viewed as that. So if the Bears go through their evaluation, if they realize, we think Justin's the guy, and they decide to trade the pick, they are, like you said, they're going to get a haul for that.
They will. And again, I love the fact that, I mean, and here's why I love it. Ryan Poles has shown he can draft. Ryan Poles, the only question mark in the first 4 rounds in his 2 drafts is Velus Jones. And he just hadn't been used right, in my opinion. All right, my guy Jason here, he's a Velus is the only anomaly. Yeah, I think you can find a thing for him. So this guy's got a good track record of drafting. Here's a crazy idea. Get him more draft picks, especially when there's so many positions that are deep. Like we're deep at edge. All right, we're deep at center. They got 3 phenomenal centers. The kid I mean, how many times you get 3 real centers? You know what I mean? That doesn't happen often. Wide receiver, oh my God. So that's another thing. Talk to me about what wide receivers you think that the Bears going to get. Or is it just Marvin Harrison Jr., or do you think they're going to grab another one, Xavier Leggett? Who do you think the Bears are going to get in addition to Marvin Harrison Jr., if they can swing it?
Yeah, I mean, if they trade back, obviously their targets probably is Harrison Jr. If they stay at 1 and then they go 9, and I think you're looking at Neighbors or Odunze. I mean, those are the 2 options. I mean, that's what it looks like it's going to happen. But again, until they make that call on what they're going to do at quarterback, it's
Right.
hard to say where they're going to be picking here. I mean, like I'm reading the tea leaves, man. All the people that are down at the All-Star games, I know what the players are in Justin Fields' camp. I know the coaches love him, the players love him. He's a great locker room guy. Just seems to me from everything I'm seeing that they're going to go with the rookie, and they're going to go Caleb. And if that's the case, then I said you're looking at 9 is for your next receiver, maybe a tackle there. Although I'm a fan of Braxton Jones. A lot of options here in this draft, and then even if they do, stay at 1 and go quarterback. Poles has shown in 2 years now he will move back and try and accumulate some more draft picks. So he is going to make some moves regardless, whether it's at 1 or somewhere else in the draft.
Yeah, I agree, and that's the cool thing. And I'm a conspiracy theorist, so my whole thing is it makes sense. All right, it makes sense. With Magic Johnson, the new crew, the new ownership group, like they need to get rid of that Daniel Snyder stank that's on this franchise.
Yeah.
And what better way than to bring the hometown kid back home to run it? Because and my thought was, look what it did to the Bulls and Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like think of jersey sales. Like, 'cause the NFL is about money. The NFL they play chess. They don't play checkers. Think of all the jersey, because you're talking the DMV area. You're not just talking one city. You're talking the whole I know you got Baltimore you got to deal with, but now you can compete against Baltimore. All right, popularity wise. And the jersey sales are going to go through the roof. Those jokers are $150 each, if not more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot, and that's why I'm looking at big picture. So again, I don't wish Caleb any ill will. I want him to have a great career. I just don't think Chicago would be the best spot for him, because I think we have our dude. Talk to me about the offensive line, though. What do we need there, if anything?
I think you nailed it at center. I mean, it's got to be somehow, some way they had to come out of this with the center.
Who's your guy of the 3?
I mean, I like the Powers. I think he's
Oregon.
Yeah, from Oregon. I think he just looks like. I mean, he looks the part, man. He looks like a brick house.
He
powerful, he's athletic.
He had a great week at the Senior Bowl too.
He did. But you know what? It all depends. I mean, are they going to be able to get him in the draft, depending on where they're going to draft here? Can you go into the draft with that as a need? I'm not so sure you can. So I think they're going to sign a free agent that's starter quality. I think Powers Johnson's going to be kind of out of their range, just kind of based on where they're going to pick now, unless they do some trades and stuff. So I think they're going to get a starter quality center in free agency. We'll kind of see how that shakes up here in a few weeks. But then you got to draft center. Regardless, you got to find a guy that can kind of play center guard, one of those guys, because, Nate Davis had some injury issues last year. Tevin Jenkins has had a career full of injury issues.
Mm-hmm.
You need a guy that can step in that you believe in, kind of like Cody Whitehair. I mean, if Cody Whitehair was a little younger, a little healthier, he'd be a perfect swing guy. He can kind of play all those spots, but he's had some issues here, obviously, in the past. His contract is huge, probably going to be gone. So I think they're going to go free agency route with interior, but also double down and draft one of their higher guys on their board.
I think that's a great idea. And I think to entice, sweeten the pot, I say, okay, you hire a veteran, you draft, as a start, you give him sign him to a 2-year deal, front load the contract. Because one thing, the money will come off the books next year, and let the other guy, and you rotate him in, as he gets more comfortable, and just let the dude know, like, hey, listen, it's a 2-year deal. We'll probably let you go after year 1. But you're gonna groom this guy, and as long as you're honest with players and a representation, they're cool. Then they can't say, well, I didn't know, you blindsided me, you this, you that. And if we get a quality guy, say, hey, you know what, I'll take the 1-year deal, all right, and then I know I can get more money or a longer contract somewhere else. Cool, it's not in front load the deal. And Ryan Poles seems like that kind of guy. Like, he seems very upfront. From that whole Roquan Smith thing, where he was like visibly shaken when Roquan came out and started talking, and he was like, dude, we had, he seems like that kind of guy. I don't know him personally. I mean, I'm still waiting for his call, but I don't know him personally, but he seems like that kind of guy. So I do like that. What about the defensive side of the ball? Okay. Well, go back to the offense. What about a running back? Are you happy with the running backs we have? Deontay Foreman had the 1-year deal. I mean, he's not, I don't know what happened. He fell out of favor. I don't see a guy like we have, like a bell cow or one to get the majority of the carries, not 20 carries, but the majority. Are you happy with Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson?
Yeah, I am actually. I just wrote an article about that. I'm doing my positional breakdown series, and I think they're set, man. I mean, I'm sure they're going to draft a guy at some point, bring in a couple undrafted free agents because, you have two guys coming out of contract, Herbert and Travis Homer. But Travis Homer was Shane Waldron's guy. His first 2 years in Seattle, he was his third down specialist. He is an outstanding pass blocker, good in blitz pickup. He's a pretty good athlete. He just didn't have a chance to really get on the field with the Bears because, of course, like you said, they signed Foreman. And then Roschon Johnson fell to them in the draft. So now all of a sudden, Travis Homer, who you paid pretty good money for to be your backup special teamer, now he's fourth on the depth chart. You can't get him reps when he's at that place. He's a special teams guy. That's why he's on the roster. But I think Travis Homer has a place in Shane Waldron's offense this season. I think Khalil Herbert is a good outside zone runner. He doesn't have elite, 4.3 speed. He's a 4.4 guy. I mean, he's explosive through the hole. That's one thing we've seen him do throughout his career in Chicago. 4.7 yards per carry a couple years ago. This last year, he still averaged close to 5 yards a pop, and that was with the high ankle sprain injury also. And then Roschon Johnson, like I said, they weren't expecting to get him in the draft, but he is a do-it-all kind of guy, good out of the backfield, good in blitz pickup.
Really good pass pro, yeah.
So I think they're set there, but like I said, draft a speed guy late or draft a power guy late, whatever you feel your offense is lacking. He can kind of play that Foreman role where he's on the roster occasionally because you're going to have injuries. I mean, it's a position that always has guys dinged up. So get a fourth guy in there, kind of work him in on the roster. He may be inactive a few days, or he may step in and he may take Travis Homer's job, or who knows? Because running backs, man, you can find good ones late. So I don't think it's a need, but like most teams this day and age, keep circulating the bottom of the depth chart at that position.
Do you think Roschon Johnson can be the guy who gets the majority of the carries? Like I said, he's probably not going to get 20 carries because they have Herbert. So I would love for each of them to get 12 to 15 carries a game. Yeah. And that's because now you're looking at 30 rushes. That is love. And then whoever else you have, not to mention the quarterback rushes, if you include those. But do you think that he's that kind of dude who could carry 15, maybe if they have to 20 times a game and be successful? Because there's still a lot of question marks. I love his pass pro. He can still come out of it. He still looks a little awkward coming out of the backfield. Not as smooth. He catches it, but he still looks a little awkward. What's your thought on him him being RB1?
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, last year, a lot of Bears fans thought he'd take over the job right away.
Right.
But that just wasn't the case. He kind of came in, but he found a place. He found a place in the offense. He was active. He got plenty of carries. He was the Bears, number 2 for most of the season. So I think he has a place. And like you said, if whether he starts or not, I think next year it's going to be him and Khalil Herbert kind of splitting carries, and that's kind of what Shane Waldron has done. I mean, he had Kenneth Walker in Seattle the last couple of years, who is a really good running back, but the year before that, he kind of had a committee back there. So I think the thing with Waldron is, man, if you look at the stuff he's done in Seattle as a play caller, he uses whatever he has. I mean, one thing we saw with Getsy was Getsy wanted to do what he wanted to do, and that's what he wanted at all times. He had his guys. He had his offense. He had to do what he wanted to do as far as calling his plays, as far as the scheme. Waldron mixes it up, man. I mean, last year he used 3 tight end sets quite a bit.
I loved it.
Previously he used a lot of 3 receiver sets. So whatever he has, whatever he's given, like for example, Kari Blasingame, Waldron's never used a traditional fullback, but he used so much 3 tight end set. He has guys lining up in the backfield. So I think Blasingame has a place in the offense. He's under contract. I think he'll find a place and a way to use him because that's what Waldron does. Waldron uses the talent he has, and he finds a game plan that fits around them.
Gee, there's a crazy idea, Lester.
Right? I know, right?
There's a nutso. Dude, you need to stop making so much damn sense, bro. See? What the hell? Holy cow. What about the staff? How excited are you about this staff? So you got Joseph as the QB coach. You got Brown. Is it Brown? The
run game coordinator,
passing game coordinator. Yeah. It seems like he's layered, and I'm talking Ryan Poles has layered his offensive staff so that if Waldron gets the best out of Justin Fields or whoever the quarterback is, he may get and he leaves due to a head coaching gig. You have someone behind him because Brown already interviewed for the OC job.
Yeah,
he didn't get it, and that tells me something that he thinks that there's a good chance for him to make a difference. That he could be the OC how do you like the rest of this offensive staff that they've compiled?
Yeah, I mean, this is a much better, on paper anyway, much better staff than what they got Flus's first year coming in. I mean, it was Getsy had never called plays before, but now he's got a guy in Waldron that has done it. You said there's a plan in place, so let's say Waldron does get a gig in a year or two. Now you have a couple guys that are in place that you feel they're probably comfortable handing the reins over to them, and having a good plan in place if those things happen, because if you're a good OC in this league, you're going to get plucked away. If you're a bad OC in this league, you're going to get fired. So I saw a thing on Twitter a few weeks ago where it came across where, most OC jobs in the NFL are 2 years. That's it. Whether it's because they get promoted away or they get fired. So, you're going to have some turnover at that spot. So having a plan in place, like you said, Brown, he actually interviewed for a couple head coaching gigs. He's highly respected. He's coming from an OC job previously. So I think there's some talent here, and I think they're ready. Like you said, whether it's Fields development, whether it's a rookie, there is a good plan in place to nurture and develop whatever quarterback they have.
Speaking of the quarterback, I'm glad you took me down that road. Are you okay with them still getting the haul, still trading that pick, and then going to get a JJ McCarthy? Going to get there's a lot of quarterbacks and going to get one in the second round or third round, and have them develop. There's a crazy idea. Have a quarterback, develop a quarterback and have him sit. Holy, anyone else done that and been successful? I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, and then have him those two entice Bates and fight it out, because now you have the NFL's instituted. You can have a third emergency quarterback who doesn't count against your 53-man roster. So now you're going to have two guys that are backups. What's your thought on the Bears doing something like that?
I mean, I could see him drafting a guy late. I mean, I don't know, man. If Ryan Poles decides Justin Fields is the guy, he's going to probably give him the pick up his fifth-year option. And then why would you draft a guy that high to kind of come in? Because now you have that cloud over it. Well, if Justin Fields doesn't work, we got this guy, like you mentioned, JJ McCarthy. He's probably going to go in the first round. If not, he may slip to the early second. But a guy of that caliber, guy that is highly touted coming out of college, he may not be one of the top guys, but he's a guy that can come in. I don't know if you want to put that dynamic in your locker room, especially if you declare as a franchise, this is Fields' team. Fields the guy, we're behind Fields. Well, that's the case, and why you drafting a guy that can come in and take his job. You know what I mean? So it's like, right. I think a veteran's going to come in, whether it's Fields or Williams. I think you're going to have a veteran come in. Shane Waldron had a couple guys out of contract that has been around the league. He runs a closer offense to the McVay stuff than what Getsy did. So there's a lot of backup veterans that can kind of come in. But I do like the upside of Bajan as your backup. I think he'll still be around regardless of who else they bring in.
I hope so. I do like Tyson. He's got a lot of moxie, bro. He's got that border, that confidence, that tiptoes and borderlines arrogance, because he's thrown so many God-blessed passes, dude. So I love it. Last question before we let you go. Defensive end. All right. What do you think, or who would you like for us to grab? Because we have, we got obviously Sweat. We've got, we might get a player if we trade with Washington, maybe Deron Payne or Jonathan Allen, but we got Billings, who was extended. I love him. We still need, I know we got DeMarcus Walker, and he's done a good job, but who do you think we attack going to on the defensive end?
I mean, if it was draft, man, I love the kid from UCLA. Man, he's all limbs, man. I mean, coming around the edge, he has a great bend. I'm not sure where the Bears are picking. Plus, he's got the medical concerns, but just watching him play football, he's really fun to watch. I'm not sure, man. Again, it's hard to say where the Bears are going to be drafting here. I'm sure they're going to draft a guy at some point, because you got to start bringing in some young edges. They haven't really drafted a guy at that spot. They drafted some interior guys, but you got to get some young talent in here. Probably second, or they don't have a second, probably third round, unless they make some moves. They'll get a guy. Maybe Yannick Ngakoue comes back. I mean, I know he had an injury. He was playing better football when they brought back Montez Sweat. Maybe Ngakoue is tired of having a new team every year. Maybe he's like, man, I like what the Bears are building here. I like working with Coach Flus. I like his scheme. Man, they got Sweat. They got Billings. They got some guys on the inside. I like what they're doing here. If he's healthy, maybe bring him back. He's not going to make – I don't think he'll make $10 million like he did last year, so he may be a little cheaper. He's a vet. Buy some time.
I think that's a great call. I like that as well. Like you said, he's familiar with the system. He hasn't had a full year with Sweat, and if he does, he might get double-digit sacks again. Right. So that'll be great. Hey, Lester, great stuff, Papa. I appreciate me and you could talk football shit for 2, 3, 4 hours, dude. But do me a favor, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
WindyCityGridiron.com. That's all the stuff we write. Podcast stuff's there as well. Our video stuff, when we do that, is at Second City Gridiron. And I'm on Twitter, of course, at Wiltfong JR.
Thank you, Papa. I appreciate it. I appreciate the time, man. Love talking to you, bro.
All right, we'll talk.
All right, now. Bear down, baby.
Bear down.
Hey, guys, that was Lester Wiltfong Jr. from Windy City Gridiron talking Bears with your boy. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a and I love I love talking football with people. I love to talk, he's one of the guys that I really enjoy. I was fortunate to meet him about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Damn. It was the last year that the training camp was in Bourbonnais, and I got to meet a whole bunch of the guys from Windy City Gridiron. It was cool. So he's always been a straight up dude, and I love having him on. I love his takes. And we don't always agree. But that's what I like about it. We can disagree and go about our business like this, like crazy, like adults, huh? We don't have to agree on everything. That's nutso. But man, that was awesome. I love it. I'm really excited about what's going to happen. The toxicity that he said. I hate. You know what? I just really hate when guys. I just think of Mike Tyson when he said, that how social media has, allowed people to say stuff that you wouldn't say because you get punched in the face. Like most people wouldn't say these things to people to their face, but I digress. It's going to be the next 2 months are going to be great. Obviously Super Bowl, I'm looking forward to, and I'll give you my pick, and you most likely know who I'm going to pick because I've been a fan of this team for a long time, but nonetheless, I'll wait till Friday, but I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. It's going to be a great game. 49ers with a great team. The Chiefs with a great quarterback. Now that's a generational quarterback. And I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be real fun to watch, and I really enjoy. I enjoy this. I enjoy the pageantry. I enjoy big games because I've been fortunate enough to play in a lot of big games, so I get the feel. Right? I played in quite a few undefeated teams. Okay, and in high school, my freshman year we won. My senior year we were undefeated to the regular season. We only lost in the state semis. In college, finished number 3 in the country my junior year. All right, I've had a couple with the Chargers, quite a few with the Thunder. So I big games. Been down to the national championship game twice in Florida. So I feel I love it. This game, my first year there in 06, actually 07, probably I think it was 2 weeks before the Bears were down there in Miami. It was the national championship game MVP. It's cool, and so I love these moments because this is where legends are made. This is where you make your money. Regular season's great, okay, but you make your name in the playoffs. All right, Dan Marino held a lot of records. Went to 1 Super Bowl. And we still call him great. Imagine if he had won 1 Super Bowl. So this is it. This is where players shine. Here's where you can make a name for yourself. Timmy Smith, running back for the Washington Redskins. All right, had the 200 yards in the Super Bowl. We never heard from him again. He started the next season, but But that's what I love. All right, big time players make big time plays in big time games. You can really set yourself up. You know how the people use the combine to increase your draft status, your draft stock. Well, you can use a Super Bowl. You have a good game. If you're, a fringe player or an average player, you can parlay that into a big contract. In the NFL, it's imperative that you get the most money you can because NFL stands for not for long. All right, and you're literally one play away, one injury away from tearing your knee up, your ankle up, your hip, like a Bo Jackson. You know what I mean? And so you want to get as much cash out as best you can and strike when the iron's hot. So it's going to be fun, man. It's all 100 million people going to be watching around the world, and I love these games. Having played in them for so long, it's like I feel it. So you're talking Timmy Smith? I think yes. Yes, I think he was 225 yards or something like that rushing. But it's gonna be good. You're right, Cornelius. KC's defense is underrated. All right, they are very underrated. All right, but San Fran's is not. So they're gonna have to move. They're gonna have to get Patrick Mahomes off his spot. They're gonna have to. I was listening to one of the I forgot who it was, and they made a great point. Like, you got to bully. You have to bully Travis Kelce. I mean, do not let him off. No free releases. Okay, make other people beat you. You know, and you got to get home. You got to get. And I think the best way to attack Patrick Mahomes. We'll talk more about this on Friday, but is up the middle. Quarterbacks hate that. Quarterbacks hate pressure up the middle because they can't follow through. They can't step up. So I want to see what types of pressures the San Fran runs to get to Patrick Mahomes, because you're going to leave people on an island. And I know he doesn't have Tyreek Hill. He's got Travis Kelce. Can you take him away? I think if I'm San Francisco, you know, I do everything in my power to take him away and let Martez, Valdez-Scantling, and other people, you know, beat you. So we'll see. We'll see. Man, 2 hours has come and gone. Holy shnikes. I want to thank my guest, Jason Palmer, for jumping on, talking some Chicago Sky with us in the top of the morning segment. Thank him for coming on, and make sure you tune in on Monday. He has, and I will mention it again on Friday, Shawn Marion, Chicagoland native, the Matrix from Phoenix. He just had his number retired in Phoenix. He's going to be on their show on Monday. I want to thank my other guest, Brad Squires from the On Tap Sportsnet, for coming on talking Bulls basketball with me. I want to thank Emilio Bucks from the Plunk podcast, the Bull Spit podcast on the Chicago Clubhouse Network for talking White Sox. Excuse me, he's talking White Sox with me. And I want to thank my man, Lester Wilfong Jr., for coming on from Windy City Gridiron, talking Bears football with me. Man, it was a packed show. It was a great show. Hope you enjoyed it. And I want to thank you guys, my sports owners. You guys are awesome. I appreciate the love that you and support you guys give me. This chat is on fire again today. I love it. And listen, I'm doing a new show with Nomad. It'll be on Sports Zone Chicago soon, but it'll be on my personal page as well. We haven't come up with a name with it, but we were talking about it last night. So it'll be daily. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So Mondays will be at 3 because we have Second City Sports at 12:15 at 2:15. So it'll be at 3 o'clock. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it'll be at noon. Then Friday it'll be at 3 as well. So just all Chicago Bears talk, and it's a different perspective. All right, we both played football at a high level, and we give you a different take. Check it out, 12 o'clock. Check the Nomad Network on YouTube. Check my personal page on Facebook. We're going to get it on Sports Zone Chicago's YouTube channel as well. It's great. It's great. And then this show will replay tonight at 6 o'clock. Yeah, it'll replay tonight at 6 o'clock. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council III, our social media guy, and my co-host in absentia, Maya, which yesterday was her birthday. So if you get a chance, follow her on social media. Make sure you go back and wish her happy birthday or happy belated birthday. Yesterday was her birthday. I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. Guys, enjoy the weather. It's going to be 40s to the rest of the week. Make sure you tell your loved ones you love them. Send someone that you care about a quick text. Say, hey, just want to say, see how you're doing and let you know that I'm thinking about you. All right. I got to go pick up the warden from CrossFit. And then I've got to be back because I'll be on at 12 with the show with Nomad, talking more Bears football, and my shirt, Coaching Matters. Don't worry, this shirt will be on sale soon. Hope you guys will pick it up. Pick one up when they do go on sale. So for everyone here for Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. Sports owners, thank you so much. I appreciate the love and support. I'll see you. I am out.